Hi YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a journal and chat with me for the week of June the 3rd through the 9th, 2024. And I talked with you all before about, and I think I've actually recorded me doing a journal with me before, last month, I believe. So I am trying to memory keep and also journal. I do go through my actual journal that I pretty much write in all the time. I go through that. Every now and then I went through my past ones, but this kind of form of journaling and memory keeping is a little bit different. It's a lot easier to go through. It's a lot quicker, I would say, because I'm not flipping pages day by day and having to read a lot. Whereas this one is more pictures and things of that sort, so it's easier to go back to. But anyway, it also gives me a chance to utilize some pictures as well as washi tape and all things of that sort. So I'm using a mixture of pictures, stickers from the Dollar Tree, as well as stickers from Paper Studio. So let's get into this. I will start off by saying that I am pretty sad. So this is actually, I'm posting this a lot later because, as you know, I'm posting this today, Friday the 14th, and some time has passed, but my bird died. Well, one of them, rather. The bird that died was Patience. That was his name. And it was difficult. I would say I am not good with pets dying. I think, let's see. When my first rabbit ever passed, it was difficult. But I think that was more so difficult because I had just gotten it from my friend. I didn't really read up. I was younger then, too. I was in high school. I didn't really read up on rabbits and how to take care of them and all of that stuff. So when I got, my second rabbit, everything was great. It was perfect. It was just the rabbit's time to die. And fish, I've never really been attached to fish at all. The fish that I've had, I've gotten for my kids, and they were okay with it. It wasn't like they really looked at it and really looked at them or did anything like that. And for some reason, me and fish are just not good. The fish just kept dying, and I didn't know what was wrong. The only difference with fish is they are pretty inexpensive if you're not getting an exotic fish or something. So it wasn't that bad. I didn't really have an attachment. But my birds, I've wanted birds for a while. My mom has had birds for years. And little backstory. So, oddly so, when I got my mom a parakeet from PetSmart, it didn't live nearly as long as the two other birds that I've gotten for her from the flea market. So I used to go to the flea market. It stopped. They had shut the flea market down. It's so sad. And her parrots from there lasted forever, a very, 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 very long time. And when I got her one from PetSmart, it just didn't live that long. But I've always wanted birds. I love the way birds sound when you wake up in the morning. Just hearing them is so peaceful. It's just peaceful. It's something about just birds and how they exist in the world. And I always wanted my own. It took me a while because I was afraid. I was afraid they was going to bite me if I stick my hand in to feed them. And I got more comfortable with my mother's birds, and I decided to get one. But when I read up on finches, it was either get them in pairs or pairs or a pair in one, but not necessarily just one. So I got pairs, and I named them Patience and Peace. Both are zebra finches, and one is all white, and his name is Peace, and the other was Patience. And Patience, I knew he was getting sick. At least I thought he was, but then like his last 2 days, he got really sick. And it was like I'm not going to go into it just in case it's difficult for other people, but it was not your typical, I would say a lot of people that I've known and have seen with birds, when they die, they kind of just wake up and they're dead. It's not like a process that's drug out or you have to watch. That was not the case for my bird. When I came, he was sick, leaning on the other bird for a while. Then he had like gotten in the feeding container and he was just there. And at first I thought he had passed then, but he didn't. And then I had basically sat with him and talked and, was tapping on the cage thing, kind of, just letting him know I was there. And then I walked out the room and came back like only a minute later and he was like dead. So it was very hard for me. It was hard for his brother. I'd like to think that was his brother. And I had stepped out the room, gave his brother time to be with him, before I just took him out. I didn't want to just snatch him out. And, that was hard because when I came back in, he was trying to like pick him up like by his beak. It was very, very sad. And, I had talked with one of my friends about it, and I didn't mention that he passed. It was just Peace. The other bird was like really getting loud and loud and loud. And he was like, "Oh wow, what are you doing to your birds? Like your birds are not." And I'm like, I think he's missing his brother. And I went into the whole story, how he passed, not the whole story, but just that he passed. And his reaction was like very bad. Like the reaction was bad in terms of his response to what he felt I should have done, and just like, it was bad. And so I addressed that, and then I thought about it afterwards, and it made me think how a lot of people in general don't do well with death. I know I don't do well with death, but it really was bad after my nephew got killed. It was bad, but I look at how especially a lot of people grew up with pets, in terms of at least all the people I grew up with and around. If their pet died, either their parents tried to replace it very quickly without them knowing and they still figured it out, or right after the pet died, they went and got another one that either looked just like it or just hurried up and got another one and replaced it. And it wasn't a talk, so to speak, of death and the circle of life and, different things like that. And so even as adults, people have a hard time even talking about preparing for death and, how you should prepare for death and getting affairs in order. And a lot of people find it very hard to do. And it goes to show how a good amount of us, how we approach death, what we think about it, and how it is. And being a cancer survivor myself, I'll say that I didn't really look at death the same until I was looking death in the face, until I got the total grasp on death, I'd say. And I just feel like, death should be something that's talked about. It should be processed. My friend had a lot to say about, you let the other birds sit there and do that, and it's kind of like, but why would I snatch him out? Like, he was in with his brother all the time. He's been with him. He was with him in PetSmart when I first bought them. I've had them for a year and a half. So he's been with him literally every day of his life. So why would I snatch him and snatch the opportunity for him to say bye because you feel that they're just pets and, da 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 da. So it's like, just talking about death is so important in all aspects, whether it's what you want to happen before, during, and after, the whole transition, or case in point of why people do not resuscitate, and how other family members feel about that because they have a problem with death and missing the other person. But I just truly believe I did cry, but I felt good because I knew that I spent time with them. They were always a part of my life each day. I talked to them a very good amount of the day. So a lot of people was like, you talk to them like they're people. But he passed, and I am clearly still trying to get over it, but I'm happy that I was there when he passed, and I still like to think that he waited for me because it was after I came home, like late. So I would encourage people to evaluate what death is for you, what it brings up for you when you talk about it or think about it, what it brings up for you when you talk about it with or think about it with close family members or your own kids. Just what is it that you feel you need to do, and have you thought about death and that? And I know this might sound dark or gloomy, but it's a part of life, and that's just reality. And in thinking about that, I think it gives us actually life because it helps us choose how we want to live while we're still breathing, especially with the people that we love and care about. So yeah, that is like my chat for this video. What you see me doing right now is I am in my Smash book. I haven't been in it in a while, and I've actually been debating whether or not I wanted to do flat out just writing journaling, or if I want to do picture journaling with small words or small areas where I write in, or do I want to write out a whole situation or what have you. So that's what I've been thinking about a lot lately. I really want to finish my Smash book this year, and I say that because these days are going by so fast. But I want to finish it this year. And what I like about a Smash book is you can literally throw in anything right here. You see me. This was a gift card to Wendy's that my kids got me, but I know my mom got it for them. And I'm just writing down where I got it from, how it made me feel, and just wanted to keep this in. And it's also giving me Smashbook also gives me junk journaling vibes as well. And that's something that I want to work on in the near future. But I also want to come close to finishing this book. And this sticker book I've had for so long. I just haven't had a chance to really use it. But now I've been trying to see areas where I can stick in certain stickers that I felt I couldn't use before. And I think a journal like this, like a Smash book or a junk journal, is such a good place to utilize stickers that you've had for a while and just don't know what to do with them. So I am really happy about this this Smash book. Even looking at it now as I'm doing a voiceover, I'm like, I really like this. I do want to get more into doing tip-ins and things of that sort. I don't think I've explored journaling like that before, and I think that's one of the reasons why I'm thinking or looking to do a journal more so with pictures and items that I've captured from whatever that moment was, instead of just always strictly writing. I don't want to put myself in a box, but I do want to explore it, and I feel like I can only really do it when I'm doing a random book like this and just throwing in different things. But yeah, I have so many pictures that I want to use up or write about that I never get around to. So that's something that I'll be working on. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down below. Definitely comment if you want on the topic I was talking about of depth. If not, I totally get it. If not, let me know if you do any creative journaling. If you do, journaling where you just use strictly pictures or big words and not so much paragraphs. But I will see you all in the next video. Thanks so much for watching, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. Bye-bye.